Here we have the hourly price chart for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. As we can see, the stock is trading a bit lower here to start the week. This has not exactly been uniform price action in all of the technology stocks. We're not really seeing the same thing here in NVIDIA. I know many people that kind of follow this analysis here on Palantir are also holders of NVIDIA. I just posted a video on that stock. If people are interested in taking a look at that, because some of the share price action there does seem to be basing. We actually had a gap higher with NVIDIA today, but this is not occurring with Palantir. We are seeing a bit of a price failure here at the highs. And if we kind of zoom in here a bit, we can see that the share price action really has kind of broken its prior uptrend channel at this point. We haven't really seen much of an hourly close below this channel, but we are starting to pressure some of these important price zones, and it's not clear at this point that the stock is going to be able to hold up sort of under the weight of this selling pressure. So there are a few price levels that we really do need to kind of drill into and watch. So in particular, we can see that we have already broken through the 20-hour exponential moving average. That's the yellow line, and the 50-hour exponential moving average. That's the orange line. And then in addition to that, we've got this upside channel break, which would be the white lines here. As you can see, we did find a bit of support near this purple line, which is the 100-hour exponential moving average. And this is important because this really does come in contact here with this red line, sort of red price zone here, which is the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement. So currently, this is a fairly critical level, this 2770 level, roughly. We did see support here. We did see a bit of a bounce here, but it's not clear, how much longer that bounce is going to hold. A price level is valid until it breaks. We don't just assume something is going to break. You have to wait for the actual break to occur. We're not fortune tellers. We're not trying to predict whether or not something is going to happen here. But so far the bounces have been fairly minimal. And we would really need to keep this level intact because it is a fairly important support zone, just because there are so many things that are happening at once. Mostly you've got this rising purple line, the 100-hour exponential moving average, and this red zone, which is the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement of this dominant price move. Okay, so that would be the price move, and that's kind of signified here by this white line. So, this is currently the dominant trend wave. The trend wave that's still most heavily influencing share prices. So this is the important price move, and we're currently, we're starting to kind of grind through this 23.6% Fibonacci retracement. As I said, we're not there yet. We could see a bounce. It's totally possible. If NVIDIA continues to rally, maybe that supports the rest of the market, and share prices are actually able to hold here. But I would watch for a potential downside break here. Because if that does happen, we do have to start to target lower levels at that point, and it would suggest that a near-term top would be in place at roughly 29.83. So for the most part, we're still roughly consolidative. I mean, we're kind of sideways here. You could argue that you've got a bit of a head and shoulders pattern that's starting to develop. I mean, this would be a very short-term price pattern if it were to really become valid here. I really like how high this other shoulder is. It's a little bit high for me. But you could consider this to be a head and shoulders pattern to the top side. But you would really need to see a break of this 2770 level in order to confirm that. So, these are factors that do need to be watched. We have not seen the break yet, so we don't assume that there will be a break. But these are factors that we do need to watch here. So currently, trading volumes are starting to skew in the more negative direction. As we can see here, we've got a big red trading volume bar here, which does suggest that more selling activity is kind of entering into the market. And then in addition to that, you have to keep in mind the indicator rating here does seem to be suggesting that there's more downside momentum when compared to the more recent trends in positive momentum. So, specifically what we're looking at here is this purple line down here. It's the relative strength index. It's a momentum indicator. And it does suggest that, there are kind of two developing trends here. we've got a bit of a trend here to the top side, which would have began roughly June 24th. But then a bit longer term, you've got this negative trend, this downward sloping trend in the reading, which would have started a few days earlier on June 20th. So, there's a bit of conflicting information here. We've got sort of two different signals, and we will be seeing, a break here in one direction relatively soon. Because the apex of this sort of symmetrical triangle here, we're starting to reach the apex of this triangle. So we're going to need to see a break in one direction or the other relatively soon. So this will give us a clue here about what the ultimate price direction is. If we see a break to the downside, in this trend line here, it would probably suggest, it would start to force the bias into a more negative direction. And it would sort of suggest that we are more likely to see a downside break of this 2770 level. Overall, this is the level that I'm watching to the top side. You would really need to see a break of at least 2960 in order to retest these prior highs at 2983. And then it becomes if we do start to see these upside breaks, the $30 level has been defended, but you start to get into a situation where a level is just being tested so many times, that it can't continue to hold. It's sort of like you're trying to push a door down, or you've got a battering ram battering it, trying to break a door down. If you just kind of keep hitting that door, eventually it's going to sort of break down. Similar sort of price action tends to happen in the market. If you just test a price level enough, you start to see it give way eventually here. So, if we continue to sort of pressure this $30 mark, I would expect it to break. It can't just hold up forever. But there is potential trading activity here to the downside. And it will be interesting to watch because, the Thursday, July 11th trading session since then, what I've been saying is that, I think that we're going to start to see more of a mixed picture in stocks here for the remainder of this summer, for a remainder of this trading period. I don't just think that, upside price movements in Nvidia or Apple or something like that is going to just automatically mean that all these other technology stocks also move higher. I do think that we're going to start to see a bit more of a mixed picture, where winners and losers start to emerge. And we do have to be a bit more stock specific in terms of our selections. We can't just buy QQQ or just do whatever Nvidia. If Nvidia is rallying higher, that means that we can buy every other tech stock, something like that. I don't expect those trends to continue for the rest of the summer. One other note to say here is that the username for this account will be changing this week. It's currently competitive technology. This will be changing this week, but everything else will be the same. You'll still see the same price charts, the same guy talking. That would be me. Same thumbnails and everything like that. Like everything will look the same, but the username will be different. So that's just something else to watch out for. That will be changing this week. You won't have to do anything if you're already subscribed. You'll still get the same messages, the same notifications, and all of that. So here's the current market analysis for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR.